All right, we have a 1 minute warning. 1 minute warning. If everyone could please silence or put their phones on vibrate, that'd be greatly appreciated. We'll be starting in 1 minute. Thank you. All righty, good evening, everyone. I'm going to call the city council meeting to order. Up first is going to be the invocation. This is Pastor Steve Ferris. Yeah, here you are. We got a big crowd tonight. I didn't see you.
We just want to stop and thank you right now that in the fullness of time, God, you sent forth your Son, born of a woman, and we beheld his glory. We know him as Jesus, and that's the reason for this season. And we stop and ask you for just your blessings to continue on this nation. Lord, there's a lot of confusion around the world, but Lord, you've blessed us immensely. And we have the freedom to worship, we have the freedom to pray and express our rights. And Lord, I want to thank you for that privilege. And I want to thank you for these who volunteer their time, those who serve our county, who serve our nation. And Lord, we just want to give you praise and honor. And Father, I just ask for your hand to be upon all the things that's coming up in the coming nights and the coming days. Lord, I want to pray a special prayer for our Destin Forward group with us tonight. Lord, it's a great program. And Lord, as you preparing leaders for this community. So Lord, we just ask you again for your grace and your mercy to continue upon us. And we pray it in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you for that. Councilwoman Hebert with the pledge.
Please join me with your hand over your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Awesome. Thank you both. Thank you, Steve, for being here. Highly recommend First Baptist Church. Thank you so much for always blessing over our community and our meeting. Moving along, we will get into the agenda approval. Does anyone have any changes, any variations, or will I take a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve as is.
Second. All right, I have a motion and a second. I'll call the vote. If you guys aren't on, we can do audio roll. All right. All right, 4-0, so moved. Thank you for that. All right, first up is going to be the 2025 Christmas Parade winners. Thank you guys for being out there. It got a little windy and cold at the very end, so I appreciate you guys hanging in there with us. I was going to wear this regardless, so I'm glad there's a Christmas theme that makes this a little less silly. It's my rooster. We got rid of him because he was very loud. He wasn't a bad rooster. He was just a loud rooster. All right. The 2025 winners of the 41st Annual Destin Christmas Parade, Seashells and Sleigh Bells. A younger me would have been slurring way worse than that. Anyways, I want to thank everyone again. Thank you guys for being here. We really appreciate your participation. This is a really cool one. There's not too many cities in Florida, let alone the country, that do a boat Christmas parade. So we are very honored and appreciative of everyone who went out. Even if your names aren't on this list, we thank you for your participation, and we'll look forward to seeing you and more next year. So with that, Noel Award, Band Award, sponsored by Destin Rotary for Walton Beach High School. This is the Christmas parade and the boat parade. Okay, sorry about that. So Noel Award, yes, sorry. Sponsored by the Destin Rotary, Fort Walton Beach High School and Destin Middle School. Are they here?
They are not. They have a concert today.
Oh, God, okay. Fair enough. All right, Elf Award, Children's Service, sponsored by Jim at State Farm, Destin High School. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
We'll get on this side over
Come
here.
back here.
Yeah.
That way she can get you guys.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yep, come on in. Yep. Ready? This way. You good?
Thank you guys so much. Appreciate you. All right, Santa's Helper Award, children's commercial, sponsored by AJ Seafood and Oyster Bar, U.S. Gold's Gymnastic. Yeah, all right, that makes a lot of sense. All right, yeah, congratulations. All right, can I hand it to someone and we spin around? All right.
There you go.
All right. Congratulations. Awesome. Good job. All right, up next is going to be the Angel Award, Religious Award, sponsored by Emerald Coast Knights of Columbus. Seems a little odd that they won their own award, Knights of Columbus Council 11893. We're going to have to look into that. That might be some collusion, maybe. I don't know. I'm going to have to get Doge on this one. I don't know about that.
Well, there's one thing to say about that. We never win, and we've been sponsoring this award for many years.
Are you saying this is a pity award?
Well, no pity. That was a beautiful float.
Yeah, well, thank you guys for sponsoring and for participating. Oh, one more?
Picture.
Yep, yep. Awesome. Thank you so much. All right, Chamber Award, commercial, sponsored by Chamber of Commerce, and that is going to go to our one and only Destin water users. Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, Civic Club, Civic Award, sponsored by Mike at Allstate, and that's going to be AmVet Post 29. Yeah, that's okay. All right, are you getting it or the commander? I'll give it to the commander. Awesome, congratulations. There you go, absolutely. I heard it. Yep. Sniping from the back. All right, crowd pleaser, sponsored by City of Destin, Grace Lutheran Church. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. You guys had the shell that was hanging like it was a fish? Yes, I saw that. That was actually really impressive. All right, let me do my official thing. Who am I shaking? There you go. Thank you guys so much. All right. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for participating. And thank you for giving us this room many years ago. Full circle. Yeah, absolutely. Well, we had to use your kitchen earlier, so thank you for that as well. All right, so if you guys are just here for the awards, by all means, feel free. Thank you guys for coming. Feel free to exit now. We'll give you a minute. But we have a riveting council briefing coming up here that will affect all of you in certain ways. Fine, yeah. Slowly, blink twice. Crystal. Alrighty, so as they round out, up next is going to be 1B Destin Youth Council Work Plan Presentation.
Mayor, may I recognize Stella?
Please.
I got something. First of all, we have David Coles here too from Destin High School. And then the chair is Stella Escoma. And I just want to, before I call on to discuss the project, I would like to share that she was selected as Florida's first alternate for the 2026 United States Senate Youth Program, placing her among the top 3 applicants statewide through a highly competitive Florida Department of Education administered selection process. This prestigious program, sponsored by the U.S. Senate, recognizes exceptional students before a leader for academic excellence, civic engagement, and public service. As first alternate, Stella is eligible to participate in the week-long Washington, D.C. program, engaging directly with senior federal leaders, and to receive the program's $10,000 undergraduate scholarship if a Florida delegate is unable to attend. So this prestigious recognition reflects our outstanding leadership, academic excellence, and your commitment to civic engagement and public service. So.
And what grade are you in?
I'm a junior.
Awesome. So we still got
So
another year with you.
I will be reapplying, don't worry.
Yeah.
I'll bring home the one for Destin. Thank you, Mr. Ray, for that recognition. Stella Scoma, 332 Tequesta Drive, Destin, Florida. Good evening, Mayor and members of the City Council. My name is Stella Scoma, and I serve as Chair of the Destin City Youth Council. I am here to request approval for the Youth Council to move forward with our primary initiative for this term, which is the Youth Labor Rights Project. This project supports the city's strategic goal of enhanced quality of life while also directly benefiting Destin's business community. In our local economy, many employers rely on young workers, especially in retail and food service. At the same time, many teens and employers alike are not fully familiar with Florida's child labor requirements, which can unintentionally lead to scheduling or compliance issues. The Youth Labor Rights Project is a volunteer-led educational initiative with no budget impact currently. It is not designed to regulate or penalize businesses. Its purpose is to provide clarity and support while strengthening the local workforce in our community. The project includes 3 components. Firstly, a young workers fair partnering with local schools focused on job readiness and workplace expectations. Secondly, a voluntary youth-safe employer recognition program that highlights businesses committed to lawful and safe youth employment. And lastly, a clear, simplified resource guides that help both teens and employers understand youth labor laws. For local businesses, this project helps create a better prepared, more reliable workforce and reduces the risk of accidental labor law violations, as well as offering positive public recognition for employers who do things the right way. We plan to offer participating businesses public recognition and also an advantage in the hiring process by providing access to the most capable and committed young applicants. For young workers, it creates safer first job experiences and clearer expectations. We believe that a first job should be a positive learning experience where young workers can be more engaged and educated. Our priority is to strengthen Destin's workforce, safen its workspaces, and support young workers and businesses together. Tonight, the Youth Council is requesting approval to move forward with planning and partnerships under city guidance. Thank you, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you for being here.
Thank
With
you.
that, anyone have any questions or comments for the idea, or I'll entertain a motion?
I'll make the motion that we accept the work plan for the
I'll
youth
second
council.
that.
Awesome. Motion and a second. Any further discussions? All right, seeing none. We'll call the vote, Ray. There we go. Great. Ayes have it, so moved. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you for being here.
Thank
Good
you all
job.
so much.
Yeah.
I appreciate
Thanks.
it.
While you're here, would you want to introduce yourself, or are you good?
On my-
Put you on the spot if you want to come up here. Yeah, you made the trip, you might as well.
Yeah, David Coles, 3817 Indian Trail. I'm part of the Youth Labor Subcommittee on the Destin Youth Council.
Awesome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Yep. Awesome. All right, so we'll move right along into public comments. If anyone wishes to speak, you have 3 minutes. Just need your name and address. The floor is yours. Yes, sir.
Don Dallas, 442 Snapper. This February will be 4 years. Been trying to get my street fixed where it don't flood my house or my neighbor's house. I noticed on this agenda today, says dredging the harbor, important stuff. East Pass Bridge Advisory Committee update on 4th Street row improvement. Everywhere I look in this town, they got metal grates, they got pipes running underneath driveways, they got them all over town, except for my street, my house, and my neighbors. I want to thank the city, yes sir, for trying to fix my driveway. The last rain we had, I got 7 feet. Neighbor got 5 north of me. Been ongoing for 4 years, okay? And y'all know the swells. They come out there, a contractor, to fix my deal the best they could. I gave the city a bid on it. I gave them, they said 24 inches. That was on a bid. Then I was gone on a wedding deal out of state. Next thing I know, my contractor had to come back the next day and put more sand in the hole. It's too deep. City says it's too deep. I measured 4 houses behind me on the next street on Benning. The lease was 31 inches. The daycare by my corner, by my house, y'all know where I live, or you do for sure, and this man does here, 45 inches by daycare. You go down there on Main Street, 7 feet deep, the swells. But they made my guy come back and fill it back because it was too deep. It wasn't 15 or 16 inches. I questioned that, and I got the same old answer. Oh, that don't make no difference. It makes a difference to me. Let's see, try to fix it. November 3rd, the meeting that was here, okay? And I was real excited about that because they had a number 3A, flood protection mitigation report for 2025. I got excited. I said, man, they're going to get a grant to fix my problem. They skipped it. They didn't have it. They jumped on to the next one. So, I've been up here preaching for almost 4 years. City's got all the money to do this and to do that and to do that. And, I'm not going to go over all that. Y'all know what it is. They need to find a grant. I signed a grant over there. Some lady from the city, I believe. We signed it over a year ago or 2 years ago, whatever it was. Put my house on there, address, and all that mess. Ain't heard a word. Trying to get a grant. So I'm asking y'all, you got grants for doing everything in this town. My street, Juanita runs into my street. The water from Juanita, where they fixed it a year or two, whatever ago, runs right in my street. And then there's a hill on the left side of my street, this side of my house. Water comes right down there and right in there, right in my drive, right in my house. And I told y'all before, I said, we're 78 years old, I had to put sandbags out. I had to put out the black things that one of the old city council members, old John, gave me last year. And then Mike brought me some here about a year ago. 78, got to put out sandbags. So I'm asking y'all, find some money to fix Snapper Drive. We're in the bottom. I talked to somebody from Okaloosa County, okay, Commission. We're in a teacup. We're right here at the very bottom. The neighbors behind me on Benning, they're in the same spot, okay? What they done over there, they put the pipe that big underneath the driveways, which is city property, okay? And they dug the swells out. And they're a heck of a lot deeper than mine. But anyway, that's all I got to tell you, but I wish somebody would get off, get on the stick and help us out there. Me and the wife fall. All my appliances, unfortunately, they're in the garage. The washer and dryer and stuff, getting water under there. You know what salt water does to metal? We slip, we fall, we get black mold. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
please,
Thank you for being here.
try and do something.
Yes, sir. Just hit that great. Yep. Name and address.
Sid Potter, 536 Juanita, Destin. First of all, I want to thank the council for fixing the northeast corner of Overstreet and, Anderson and Juanita, where the asphalt was torn up by the kids who were tripping on the blocks of asphalt. And that's been ongoing for 3 years, but we finally got her done. Sidewalk's still torn up. The FedEx trucks seem to keep that broken all the time, as the UPS trucks do. I'm not allowed to put spikes out there, but I would. Maybe move the telephone pole a little closer. Listen, enough of that, but thank you guys for getting that done. That little girl, you know, she got a Band-Aid, but it could have been worse. As I said, I hope you all have good insurance. Live Oak, AT&T. Okay, I do a lot of work over in Regatta Bay and Kelly Plantation. Boy, their streets are all nice and clean, and their sidewalks are all nice and clean. And guess where we are over in our neighborhood? It looks like a bomb went off over there. You ought to see it. You know it. Sand all over the people's sidewalks, the streets, the grass is all torn up, paint everywhere, and they're done, except for when the track machine went across 5 of my sprinkler heads. They'll be getting the bill for it. New hotels in Destin. I talked to Mr. Braden about this the other day. And when's it going to stop, guys? A moratorium, building moratorium. This city can't handle a whole bunch more. I mean, all the building in behind Winn-Dixie and whatnot, and then now we're putting in a hotel. How close to the bridge? And you put the bridge in you want to. If you know anything about elevations, I know a little bit about it. And the ramp up getting onto the bridge is going to put it just about where that hotel is going up. And there's going to be a chaos in there. Now, question, is that a 6-story building?
Yes.
Now, how they get the permit to do that? I thought there was a height restriction in that neighborhood.
For 6 stories is the max for the city of Destin.
Oh, really? I saw the 3.
6.
Okay, and I'll ask you a second question. That piece of property where the old Greasy Spoon was in the Village Inn, 320 rooms, 320 parking places plus employees. That's not a very big piece of property. How are you going to get 320 parking places in there? Minimum. I just don't see it. I mean, you know, you've been here a long time. I've been here since 1978. And this, you know, when the DOT asked me in a survey about what I thought about 98, and I answered all the questions, and they said, how long have I lived here? I said, well, I lived here long enough to know that at 9 o'clock at night, chances are if you were laying down middle highway 98, you would not get run over. And you know it all, you know, all lived here. You know, it's just every day it's getting bigger and bigger. The infrastructure just can't handle this. I mean, it seriously can't. I mean, I'm seriously thinking that you guys need to start thinking about a building moratorium in this town. I really do. So, thank y'all.
Thank you. Anyone else? All right. Can you hit that button for me? All right. With that, we'll move past the public comments and get into the consent agenda. Do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve as is.
Second.
With a motion and a second. Seeing no further discussions, we'll call the vote. Ray, you got it?
A roll call.
Oh, roll call? Okay. Councilman Braden? I'll come to-
Yes.
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 All right, 4-0, so moved. All right, city manager report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council. Just a couple items for you tonight. One, certainly no action requested, but just give you a briefing on some activity that staff has been going through over the last few months regarding DOGE, which we're calling the Destin Optimization of Government Efficiencies. We kind of brought that home to look at what might we be able to do to save taxpayers' money here in Destin. I can tell you over that time, we've identified about $625,000 that we've been able to bring back into the fold. A large portion of that was our health insurance that we renegotiated. Actually had to make some changes to policy, but we saved about $430,000 on that. We utilized some direct purchasing for particularly the pickleball courts, the Morgan's Lights, and the Crosstown Connector, which we would, as opposed to paying the contractors to purchase materials, we'd buy it internally and not pay sales tax on it. So that saved us about $125,000. Our library folks found about $12,000 we could save there. IT, about $7,500 on subscriptions that we weren't using or had expired that needed to be terminated. And from HR, saved about $50,000, making sure our workers' comp classifications were correct and doing some restructuring of the way we brought folks on board and some testing and things we were doing that probably didn't have as much value. So just wanted to give you that report. Those efforts will continue. There's a good amount of information in your packet that you may review, but that's the crux of where we are today. Pleased with the staff has worked hard to identify those things, and we'll continue to those efforts moving forward.
Thank you so much.
The next item is regarding the 4th Street right-of-way improvements. We think we're going to ask you not to take any action on that tonight, and let us take a little harder look at what may work out best there. There's some other ideas besides hiring someone to do it, so we'll examine that and bring it back to you at a later date if that's okay with council. And other than that, there's some minutes for your approval for the standing, or for your information, and then a few announcements. We were asked to look for an outside party to do the help with the survey on the annexation, and we reached out to 4 organizations or companies that could do that work, or we thought we could. One said they weren't interested. 2, we didn't get any response back from, which I thought was odd, but nonetheless, we didn't. But we did have one respondent from Tallahassee, Cherry Communications, that actually was kind of excited about working with us on it. They do phone interviews, so they do live one-on-one conversations to capture the information we need. We can do it for about less than $5,000 probably, and let them move forward with gathering the information to help you guys make the decision of whether we want to move it forward. So that's certainly within my spending authority, and we can move that forward unless you have ideas otherwise. I think we'll get the information we're looking for from them. We certainly will make sure that the questions are formulated so that it's not a push poll, they won't be biased, and this is what these folks do for a living, and so they know how to do those things and reach out and take the addresses, associate phone numbers with them, and get some good interaction, so we're looking forward to that. We're going to ask to schedule a CRA meeting for the second council meeting in in January. We have a executive session that council will ask you to schedule on the first meeting. So that would be our first quarterly roll-up, and that meeting to address any of the pent-up items that are between the Harbor CRA and the Town Center CRA that they're looking for action on. We opened bids for the Crosstown Connector, and pleased to tell you that those bids came in at about half of what the engineers' estimates were. So that's going to be good savings there. We have to present those to the Florida DOT because of the funding they're contributing. They'll make sure we appropriately went through the procurement process, and that the contractor that we will recommend meets their standards, which we don't think there's any problem with that, but we'll wait for that and bring that back to you hopefully at the next meeting. And then finally, we were notified yesterday or the day before that we're a recipient of a $450,000 DEP grant to rework our vulnerability assessments or to update it. That's very important as we continue cycling through grant programs. So when we continually identify and re-identify those areas where we're vulnerable and seek that funding, this process certainly helps in that. So that's the announcements I have, and I know Dr. Young has some for you.
Yeah, I just have one tonight. Just a reminder for people's calendars that we have our visioning session that we do annually. We have that set for Friday, January 23rd at 9 a.m.
One other one, we did receive some word back from DOT that they're going to actually take another look at the Airport Road and 98 intersection and perhaps moving the right turn lane, or move the through lane past the intersection. So get rid of that need to move left quickly. So once you negotiate the turn, then have that merge lane to the left. So maybe take that conflict out with the bicycle traffic as well.
Yeah, they're at the very beginning stages of looking at, and thanks to Captain Fulgham for pushing that with them for the last couple of years, I think.
Awesome. Anything? All right, seeing none. All right, Ms. Cobb. Public hearings.
Thank you, Mayor. The first public hearing is ordinance 2526 LC, an ordinance of the City of Destin, Florida, deleting section 7.13.00 nonconforming uses and structures and section 160800 nonconforming signs of the Land Development Code and creating a new Article 3 nonconformities, providing for authority, providing for findings of fact, providing for incorporation into the Land Development Code, providing for conflicting provisions, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date. This is first reading, and as you know, this is a part of the ongoing LDC rewrite. Staff has outlined the changes in the staff report, and the Community Development Director is here and has a presentation if you'd like to see it.
All right, before we jump in, seeing that this is a public hearing, if anyone from the public wishes to speak on this topic, this is your time to do so. All right, seeing none, I'll close that. And I guess I'll get a nod. Do we want, I guess we'll do the presentation. I don't want to. Thanks for the work, we'll just pass you.
Thank you, Mayor. So just the background on both, this will be for 3 and 5, Article 5. On April 5th, 2021, City Council approved the scope of work and budget for the full rewrite of the Land Development Code. After internal and public reviews beginning in early 2023, staff presented a draft of Article 3 to the City Council at its workshop on December 3rd, 2024. Incorporating City Council's input, staff created a final draft. Further refinements have been made based on re-reviews by new staff. Next slide, Annie. So Article 3, as Ms. Kopp said, covers nonconformities. The general changes to the ordinance is revisions to language for clarity and improvements to organization. Also relocated sections 713 and 16.08 to what would be the new Article 3. Key changes, clarification that nonconforming uses shall not be enlarged, and replacement of structures lost to catastrophe with construction costs exceeding 50% of replacement value must be brought into compliance with the Land Development Code. And there's a new section covering non-conforming site elements, namely access, parking, and landscaping. That's it for Article 3.
All right, thank you so much. All right, Councilman Destin.
Thank you, Mayor. When we first created our Land Development Code, and we're going through these issues many years ago, we discussed the fact that the harbor is Destin's heart and is unique in what is down there. And I thought at the time we had put some provisions in the code that in the event that we have a hurricane that has a 20-foot surge or so like they had Mexico Beach and destroyed most of the old, what I would call historic, as far as Destin goes, structures such as the boathouse, such as what's now Margaritaville, Harry T's, all of that stuff, if it is destroyed under this provision, can't go back. And that changes the very nature and the very history that we seek to preserve. So, I would suggest that don't have any problem with no expansion, don't have any problem with the sections that say you don't move it around. But as far as the 50% rule, a real hurricane is going to wreck it past the 50%. And then what we would go back with would not be what Destin was. And so my suggestion is that we would not make the 50% rule apply to the South Harbor District. It's simple, and if staff wants to wordsmith that and make it come out in a more legal and more understandable term, that would be great, but I will make a motion that we make that change.
I'll second that.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Would you like to discuss that further under your term?
Well, that was one of the things I was going to bring up, was if we had a hurricane, we would not be able to take care of the businesses that are established at the harbor, but Dewey said it, I don't need to repeat it.
All right, any further discussion on that? All right, we'll call the vote, and then I'll come back to you.
Did we make the motion?
Yep, we had a first and a second.
With the changes?
If that changes.
Okay.
Yeah, for specifically the South Harbor District. While Ray's putting that up there, David, what would they have to do for the boathouse? I mean, would that mean pilings then, if they were to conform? I'm sure there's several variables that would be updated, so it just, yeah, it'd be a complete different, all right.
And there are a number of buildings, not just the boathouse that's over the water, but the stuff that's at Emerald Grand, such as where Harry T's is, or
Yeah.
the East Pass Seafood. All of that would not be able to be built back.
Okay.
And correct me if I'm wrong, we have a rule that says now that you can't build within 50 feet of the water's edge. I know at least that's in residential. Does that apply to that down there also?
I'm not sure, let me ask. So, it does not.
Okay, well, then that's not part we have to fix.
All right,
Thanks.
so that motion passes 3-1. Council Aber, do you have anything else? All right, bring it back.
I just wanted to let the individual that came up and was complaining about how we need to stop, put a moratorium. That's what this whole LDC rewrite is correcting the rules that have basically let things happen because the wording wasn't right. It didn't put the right caveat in there to make sure we could keep Destin from exploding at the seams. It's a very tedious rewrite, and our staff is working tirelessly to get it done. So as soon as we get all of these through and get the rewrite finalized, we are trying to put a moratorium on new hotels, et cetera.
All right, thank you for that. All right, anything further on the first reading of ordinance 2526? All right, seeing none, I guess we're going to come back for first reading.
Correct.
All right, getting the hang of this. All right, B, Ms. Kopp.
Thank you, Mayor. This is ordinance number 2603LC, an ordinance of the City of Destin, Florida, deleting section 7.08.00, regulation of the subdivision of land of the Land Development Code, replacing section 7.08.00 by creating a new Article 5, subdivision regulations of the Land Development Code, providing for authority, providing for findings of fact, providing for incorporation into the Land Development Code, providing for conflicting provisions, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date. This is first reading, again, part of the ongoing LDC rewrite, and the Community Development Director can continue with his presentation.
Okay, and if you go to 5. General changes to the subdivision regulations, revisions to language for clarity, improvements to organization and internal consistency. Also relocated section 7.08, 8.04, and 10.01 through 10.04 to what will be a new Article 5. The key changes are that the requirements for when common ownership associations are necessary were simplified and consolidated. The maximum block size was increased from 660 feet to 800 feet. There's an added requirement for mid-block pedestrian crossings for blocks that exceed 400 feet. Also specified a minimum width of 15 feet for utility easements, and that utility easements must be non-exclusive. Clarified that developments must connect to the local sewer system, and any access variance must be recorded as a public record.
Thank you for that. And providing that this is a public hearing, at this time, if anyone wishes to speak on this topic, this is your time to do so. All right, seeing none, I'll close the public comments, and I will entertain a motion for 2603 LC.
Yeah, I was trying to find the motion. I move that the city council approve ordinance 26-03-LC as presented.
I'll second that.
All right, any further discussions? All right, seeing none, I'll call the vote. All right, ayes have it, so moved, 4-0. All right, thank you for that. We're already here, Councilman Braden.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to thank all of the staff for a great year. A lot of hard work, got a lot done. Thanks for that, and just hope everybody has a great Christmas, safe holidays. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Councilwoman?
I'll ditto what he said, but I wanted to add to Lisa and all the crew that worked the parade this year, all the parades. Great job, good deal, and accolades all around. Again, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Councilwoman?
Thank you, Mayor, and I'll echo that. The parade and the decorations are a tremendous amount of work, and I appreciate the fact that the staff makes it so nice for us to go out with a bang at the end of the year. I did have one question I wanted to ask, or one observation that had to do with the Land Development Code. I've gotten several comments about the fact that we are making buildings go up by the road, such as the auto zone, and I think we've got another one. That was part of a plan that the council conceived, I'm not sure how many years ago, that they thought it would look nicer to have buildings up by the road rather than parking. I'm not sure that that really is a better plan, especially if it's applied to the stuff on the harbor side. Those buildings jammed up against the road don't look good to me. So I won't do it tonight. After the first year, we'll see if we can explore that element of the Land Development Code that's causing those buildings to be moved right up onto the road rather than back farther. Other than that, have a Happy New Year and Merry Christmas.
Awesome, thank you. All right, Councilwoman Neighbor.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to echo what my fellow council members said on, Lisa and her team. That was an awesome setup. We appreciate you getting us all the golf carts to be able to have all the candy that we had. I didn't run out. This was a great job. The decorations, just the organization. Your team are tireless, and I don't really think words ever do them justice, but they definitely deserve a very Merry Christmas, and same to the rest of the staff. Thank you for all the hard work. I know it's tedious, some of the things we ask y'all to do, but we do appreciate you keeping us ahead of the game and trying to keep us out of trouble. So thank you for all you do. Y'all have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and thank you for all you do. Thanks, Mayor.
Awesome. All right, thank you guys as well. On the non-conforming, I meant to ask during that first public hearing, it made me think of non-conforming signs, very big signs that some rotate, some are stagnant. Is there a way to, because I've had a couple people show me photos of, I guess, parts of the debris that have fallen. Is there a way to require them to have an inspection to see if they're, up to engineering standards? That might be a discussion offline, but that's something that came up 2 days ago, and I meant to ask you guys in our briefing, but what does that look like as far as signs of deterioration? And now we're getting into public safety for some very large signs that are non-conforming in Destin. So I appreciate that note. Other than that, Happy New Year's, Happy Thanksgiving. Really appreciate you guys, and I'll turn it over to Ms. Kopp.
Thank you, Mayor.
Happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas. Happy Merry Hanukkah, how about that?
All right, well, I won't be a bah humbug if I add another meeting, will I? Okay.
Just keep it before 7.
Well then, 5:30 on January 5th. Pursuant to Section 286.0118 Florida statutes, I, the city attorney, desire the advice of the city council in the case of Claude Perry Enterprises LLC and Marlar Harbor Property LLC versus City of Destin. Case number 2025 CA 002694, F. Okaloosa County, Florida Circuit Court. And as such, I'm calling for an executive session to be held in the City Council chambers at the Destin City Hall Annex, 4100 Indian Bayou Trail, Destin, Florida 32541, on Monday, January 5th, 2026 at 5:30 p.m. Central Time or as soon thereafter as the issue may be heard. Present at the executive session will be a court reporter, Mayor Bobby Wagner, City Council members Kevin Schmidt, Tori Guile, Teresa Hebert, Jim Bagby, Dewey Destin, Sandy Trammell, and Rodney Braden. City Manager Larry Jones, William Warner, who is our litigation attorney, and myself.
That work for everyone? Yes.
Didn't we schedule the CRA board meeting at 5:30, the first meeting in January?
Yeah, we had,
Second meeting.
we could do it second meeting.
Yeah, we're going to do it second.
We're going to do the second, okay.
Okay.
I just saw that as a conflict, that's all right.
All right, good eye.
I'm good.
Anything else? All right, seeing none?
Thank you, council. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and Happy New Year.
Awesome, thank you so much. All right, public comments. Anyone else? Second stop? Seeing none? All right, anyone who's from Destin Forge, you got lucky, you picked a good one. We could have been here till 11. With that, I will adjourn this meeting, and everyone have a wonderful holidays and a Happy New Year.